Does everyone have these written down?
No. Well, not the last one.
Okay, I'll just do the top two.
No.
Give you a second. Did you get all done, Jess? Excellent. While you're finishing up, I'm passing out an article. Once you finish, take out your in-class reading response packets, please. Give you about 30 more seconds to finish up the words.
25 more minutes.
15 seconds. Nice try, Bill. All right. All right, how many of you, and I know the answer to this question, have practiced marking the text in your classes? All of you have, because we've done it in here. For sure, but in your other classes too, right? Which other classes have you practiced in? Bill?
Numbering the text, right? Well,
Marking the text, yep.
we did a few times with Mr. Critchley.
And Mr. Critchley, so that's social studies? Okay.
Mr. Rush.
Mr. Carbage's class, that's DL. Anything else? Tahuti, any of your classes? Selena? Probably Mr. Carbage.
No, I don't have them.
That's right, not this trimester. All right, so I know some people just think that we stop at numbering the paragraphs. Do you know why we have to do why we have to number the paragraphs? Why, Bill?
So when you guys read as a group, you can just tell them if you have like an answer in this paragraph, you can do like one statement in it that is one of your answers and share it.
So you can cite the text. So you could be like, in paragraph 1, I saw that the author said this, and that proves my point. Very good. So we don't just need to number paragraphs, though. We need to circle our key terms, names of people, names of places, and their dates. But what's a key term? I think that sometimes we forget to talk about that. So I wanted to review that today before we read. So when we circle key terms, it means that they've been repeated, they're defined by the author. What does that mean? The author is explaining it to us. They're saying like, abundant means that there's a lot of something. So that would be something that is important because they are taking the time in their writing to explain to us what it means. So that means it's important. Okay? Also, it's used to explain or represent an idea. So it's like a further explanation. It supports one idea. So that's generally what we look for when we're trying to prove a point, especially when we're having a discussion like Bill talked about. So we can cite that evidence. Okay? Or it's used in an original or unique way. It's a central concept or idea. What does that mean? We've talked about main ideas before. What's a main idea?
Most important.
Most important. It's like the point. The point of the paragraph or the point of what we're reading. Good. Or it's relevant to one's reading purpose. So maybe you're reading to find evidence about why there is so much hunger in a certain part of the world. And so you would be looking specifically for that. And somebody else could be reading the same article and looking for different kinds of evidence. Does it make sense? Good. All right. The author's claims. So this is something that we talk a lot about in 9th grade English. An author's claim is an arguable statement. So it's what they're trying to get across. And that's even when you write. Like when we have a thesis statement or a theme, it's an arguable statement. It's not just one word. So if you see data, facts, or other backings, that should all support our main ideas. All right? Is this confusing? Are we on board? Okay. So on your sheets today, I want you to number your paragraphs, and then we'll read it together. And then you will read it again by yourself, even though Fernanda doesn't like that. She gave me the snake eye. And then you will write a response. It will be response number 2. Can I borrow this? So while you're numbering paragraphs, just think about response number 2 and open that up. And Margot, you've already started. That's amazing. I'm also going to number my paragraphs. All right. Anyone want to help me read today? Thanks, volunteers. Before we start, let's look at our title of the article. Put it down. Not forever, just for a minute. Anxious? What does this title say? What could it be about? We're putting...
Cell phones.
Cell phones? How do you know that, though?
First paragraph.
You looked in the first paragraph already. But if we weren't looking in the first paragraph, would we know what they were talking about?
No.
It's pretty vague.
Right.
We could kind of make a guess because people ask us a lot on a daily basis to put our cell phones down. And we know, especially as teenagers, since we're so young, we like to stay connected to our friends and have our cell phones out all the time. So it could be, that would be a good guess. But this title is pretty vague. Usually titles give us a little bit more information. But good job looking in the first paragraph. All right, who wants to start reading? Thank you, Bill.
Cell phones. For many people have often.